All right, welcome into the Gress podcast here on January 27th, 2022. Today is Thursday. Breaking down the conference championship games that's going on Sunday. Obviously, there's been some stuff that's broke lately as far as coaching, retirements, things like that. We're going to talk about that next week in our second podcast later in the week after we break down what happened this coming Sunday. So right away, let's just get right into it. First game of the day, Chiefs-Bengals. Chiefs favored by 7. Bengals coming off a big win, another big win. Not winning a playoff game since 91. Now they have 2 this postseason. Their magic has continued throughout. I didn't think it was going to happen. I was wrong. But the Bengals, Chiefs, and like I said, Chiefs favored by a touchdown. Chiefs, big key for them is they just got to play their game. They don't turn the ball over. They don't make those those mistakes, the dumb penalties that they've had that's really hindered them in their times when they've struggled this year. If they play a good, clean game, similar to what they played against Buffalo, I didn't think they played horrible. Defensively, they did give up some big plays, but they didn't do a lot that beat themselves. They didn't turn the ball over. It didn't seem like they had a lot of really bad penalties that game, and that really helped. They were able to go out and get a win, obviously. Try not to avoid that letdown, especially after a big game. And I think having coaching experience like Andy Reid has, who's been to 4 straight championship games with 2 different teams now. He did it back when he was coaching the Eagles in the early 2000s. And he was very excited, obviously, running into the locker room, but he was quick. Right after that little celebration, he said, hey, let's go. Work's not done. We got to get back. So I expect them to come in focused, have a good game plan, come out, execute. Defensively for the Chiefs, one of the big things is they got to make sure that Chase, not to give up big plays, sit back, keep Chase in front of you, and try to limit those explosive plays. It sounds like Matthew, he returned to practice today, so haven't really said one way or the other if he is going to be able to play, so that's going to be a huge key because he's someone on their defense that just, when he's on the field, he makes a huge difference. He's really good about getting defense lined up into the right alignment, right calls. You could definitely tell against the Bills that they missed his presence, especially in the late games when the Bills were able to score, take the lead, and that was really where the Chiefs struggled. They were just out of position, and having Matthew on the field, having that high IQ player that he is, definitely is going to be able to neutralize that. Big key for the Bengals is, and something that's not been talked about because they've won, so they won't be a big discussion, but the Bengals have not been very good in the red zone this playoffs. They've gotten 3 touchdowns these entire playoffs. The rest of the time they've moved the ball, they've had to settle for field goals. A lot of that is due to their inability to protect Joe Burrow. The offensive line has been a problem all year, obviously, especially last game, giving up 9 sacks, which you don't ever see hardly ever a team giving up 9 sacks and still finding a way to win. But definitely the big key is they need to find ways to convert in the red zone because it might work against a team like the Titans or the Raiders who don't have the explosiveness and they don't have that Pat Mahomes guy on the other side of the ball. So they need to find ways to get the ball in the end zone. They can't settle for field goals because if they settle for field goals, they're going to get beat. I would imagine Zach Taylor knows this, and he's going to be working, trying to find ways to be more effective in the red zone with what they have. It's a rematch, Week 17. Chiefs are going to be looking out there for revenge. It cost them the 1 seed, and you know that this is going to be a big point of emphasis for the Chiefs all week, trying to get revenge, and not only for a revenge just for themselves, but you're playing for a spot in the Super Bowl. You don't really even need to play for revenge. So there's going to be, I think, losing earlier in the year definitely probably adds a little juice for the Chiefs, but at the end of the day, I think the Chiefs are more so, they don't care about the revenge. They're going to be looking for that spot in the Super Bowl, try to get some revenge of where they lost last year. I suppose now it's time to get back into the picks. And again, I think this is my lock of the week. I had the Chiefs as my lock of the week this week. This week, I also think Chiefs favored by -7. I think this is a 10, 13, 16-point game. Chiefs, I think they're just too much offensively. They are the difference between this Chiefs team and the Bengals team is their red zone. The Chiefs always seem to find ways to convert in the red zone, get touchdowns, get across the end zone. They make those plays. And the Bengals, they have not been able to quite do that yet this year. In these playoffs, I think that trend continues. I think Chiefs move on one step closer to getting 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. Now, playing them, this game, I think it's going to be the exact this one against Rams-Niners. Rams are favored by 3.5, which is interesting because the Niners, both times they've played each other this year, the Niners have come out on top. Most recently, the Week 18 game where the Rams were up 17-0. The Rams were up 17-0. The Niners get a field goal right before halftime, kind of propelled them, used that momentum, come back from behind to get into the playoffs. And the last 6 times that the Niners and Rams have played, the Niners have come out on top. So Kyle Shanahan seems to have McVay's number. McVay and Shanahan, they both were on the same coaching staff in Washington, and most of their successes come from Kyle's dad, Mike, who was kind of really implemented the zone running scheme that both teams really like to do. I expect this game to be low scoring. Going to be the big key, similar to what I said was going to be with the Niners Packers, is converting in the red zone, not settling for field goals, getting touchdowns. I think that's going to be the difference. Expect this game to be about a 2017, 16-13 type of game. It's going to be the big key for the Niners is getting pressure with only 4 guys. Which they probably have the best D-line in football, and they're playing their best ball of the year, which is always huge. You want to be playing your best football at the end of the season when games matter the most. See if they can use that pressure to force Stafford into some turnovers, which he has not done yet these playoffs, which I thought for sure that at one point, especially against the Bucs, I thought the Bucs were going to be able to get enough pressure on him to force him, make him uncomfortable, force him into making some throws he didn't want to make or getting some throws that could get him into trouble. And the Rams also on the other side, they're both. Anytime you got Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Floyd, those guys on the same lining up, protection's always going to be key. That's why I think converting in the red zone is going to be so huge. And the big question is both teams could be without their left tackle. Trent Williams, he hasn't practiced so far this week. His status is uncertain. I haven't really seen one way or the other which way it's trending, if he's going to play or if not. Definitely the Niners are going to want him in because he's one of the best tackles in football. And for him personally, this might be his only shot he has at to play in the Super Bowl. So he's going to try to do everything he can to play. We'll see. They got to make a decision 90 minutes before game, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's when the decision is made or when we'll find out if Williams is playing. And on the other side, the Rams, they might be in even a bigger issue because both Andrew Whitworth, who he appears, according to McVay said in his press conference yesterday, that he appears to be on track to play, still uncertain. And then the guy who replaced him, who actually played really well against the Bucs, Joseph Noteboom, he didn't practice. I guess he's got a little bit of a pec issue. He only allowed 1 pressure against Tampa Bay last Sunday. So the Rams, even if both are able to play, it's questioning to see who McVay decides to trot out there at that position. It's tough. Obviously, a guy like Whitworth, who's been a staple of your offensive line since McVay's gotten there, a great signing by from Cincinnati, and been a staple, been a leader on this team. He's going to want to get to play. He played on that 2018 team of the Rams who came up short in the Super Bowl, losing to the Patriots. So you know Whitworth's going to want to get back there. He's also getting up there in age, and he's going to do everything he can to play. Interesting to see who does. I think, like I said earlier, the difference, this game is going to be won and lost like most football games are. The game's going to be determined who's able to get the best D-line pressure. I think I like the Niners a little more. I just think 6 straight, that's obviously going to be in the Rams' head, but I don't know if I'm ready to pick a winner yet. I do believe what I'm going to bet on is I do believe the Niners do cover that 3.5, and frankly, a wise man by the name of Charlie Harper on 2.5 Men always said, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, it's if you cover the spread. I think the Niners cover the spread. I'm still not sure. If I had to guess, I think I would pick the Rams to win. I think at some point something's got to. I think the Rams do have the talent and the ability. I think Stafford could be the difference if he's able to make plays and play the way he is playing. He has been playing these playoffs. I think that's enough to get them over the hump. I trust him more than I trust Jimmy G. And I guess I'll say it now. I think it's going to be Chiefs, Rams, in the Super Bowl. Pick-wise, Chiefs -7. Lock of the week. Bet it. Lock it up. Go Chiefs -7. Rams, Niners. I think Niners cover the 3.5. Rams win. We got a Chiefs-Rams Super Bowl in LA. Back-to-back years then, if that's the case. A home team is playing in the Super Bowl back-to-back years. So that's it. All I have for today. We'll be back Monday recapping everything. Hopefully I be discussing me going 2-0 on the week with picks. And thank you again for listening to the Gress podcast. Check us out on Spotify. Still working on trying to get us onto iTunes. Hopefully by the next time we meet up, I will have that. Hopefully you'll be able to find me on there as well. And we'll still have 2 episodes next week. Monday I'll be breaking down, and then Thursday I'm hoping, it's not confirmed yet, but I am hopeful we'll be having our first guest on the Gress podcast, of breaking down all the moves, all the new coaching hires that have happened since the regular season ended, discussing that. So looking forward to that. Stay tuned. Thank you again for listening, and we will see you back here on Monday.